All right, good enough. Let's call the meeting to order. I'm going to start with the statement we need to make prior to the meeting. In accordance with the Governor's disaster declaration and suspension of certain aspects of the Open Meetings Act, this meeting is being held virtually via Zoom. The public was invited to provide input via email before the meeting. The Zoom information was published with the agenda, so members of the public may attend the meeting virtually and provide input. Okay, let's go ahead and start with roll call. Oh, do we not have?
Not hear me?
We couldn't hear you, but I think we can now.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Good, it's not just me.
Just speak loudly.
Ms. Bex?
I'm here.
Ms. Headland?
Present.
Mr. Miller?
I'm here.
Mr. Modica?
He was here a minute ago.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
He was a minute ago.
He was there a minute ago.
All right. Ms. Orchardton?
I'm here.
Mr. Pania?
I'm here.
Ms. Williams?
I'm here.
Mr. Robinson?
Here.
And again, Mr. Modica? He'll probably rejoin us.
Okay. Let's go ahead and move then to approval of minutes of the previous meeting. Did anybody have any changes or comments on those minutes? Okay, I move that we vote to approve these minutes. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we do have to do, okay, we do have to do we have to each roll call, thank you. We have to do a roll call vote. So let's go ahead with that.
Okay, please answer yay or nay. Ms. Salmon?
Aye.
Aye, there we go. Aye or nay, I guess. Ms. Bex?
Aye.
Ms. Headland?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Modica? Oh, I saw him. There he is. Mr.
Frank,
Modica?
we're approving the minutes of the previous meeting. Do you vote aye or nay in the approval?
Looks like he's still working to get connected to the audio at this point.
Okay. We'll come back to him.
Ms. Orchardton?
Aye.
Mr. Pania?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, we have some changes to the agenda tonight. We're going to be moving things around a little bit. We're going to start with the interns giving some reports, followed by two of the grant presentations. We originally had 4 slated, but 2 of those will not appear today. Kelly White of 40 North and June Clark Eubanks of the Art Grant Mackinac will not be presenting today. We are also then going to, let's see, I think everything else then is in the same order. So.
And I will give a brief introduction before the interns present, if that's all right.
Okay. Do we have any public input before I go forward? Anybody? Okay, let's go ahead then and start with the reports for the interns.
Great, and just a quick comment about tonight's meeting. So we are constrained to a 1-hour meeting this evening, and I just want to make that known because we do have a number of presenters tonight, and all of whom have been asked to keep their presentations to about 5 minutes in length so that we can try to hit all of our important presentations and also our Tier 3 conversation this evening. I, in that spirit, have decided to kind of take off my staff presentation. That said, you do have the full written report on the webpage, and it was sent to you through email, so hopefully you got a chance to read that, and anyone interested can read the written report in detail on the website. The 2 students that are presenting today, Natalie Weiss and Hannah Darcy, are both students of the University of Illinois who participated in our internship program through CU Scholars, our partnership with the University of Illinois. While both of them are planning to continue into the spring, this technically wraps up their fall internship. So we wanted to give them an opportunity to come to you, as is our custom, to talk to you a little bit about what they were able to accomplish this semester. So I'm going to hand it off to, I believe Natalie is going to start. She's going to be the person who screen shares as well.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome, Natalie. Welcome, Hannah.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you so much for having us today. And just to begin with, this is going to be the Arts and Culture Internship Reflection. Just a little introduction. I'm Natalie. I'm right now a sophomore in the Urban and Regional Planning College, and I am studying social justice. My minor is in community art education, and a little bit about me is I've worked with the Asian American community on campus through my involvement in the Asian American Association as on board for the Public Relations Chair, and I'm also working with the Asian American Cultural Center on campus as a media communications intern, and I am also a teaching assistant and an ambassador for the College of Fine and Applied Arts. And my passion really lies in photography. Through art, I'm really able to share the diversity and complexity of a lot of people's just stories through the lens of an artist, and I'm able to give people of color their voice, and I really am thankful to be part of this internship, and I'll hand it over to Hannah.
All right, yeah. I'm Hannah Darcy. I'm a fourth-year PhD student at the University of Illinois in the Ecology, Evolution, and Behavior Department. And so I have kind of a technical research area, but it means I get to generate a lot of cool images like the CT scan of a little salamander here you see. And I get to enter a lot of cool image competitions. And this, plus some experience I have from a master's degree in paleontology working with museums, has really led me to doing science outreach, as well as incorporating art into science education. So if you want to see more of my outreach, I have my Twitter handle there. But I am passionate about STEM to STEAM initiatives and bringing arts into the science education. So I'm sort of tapped into the paleo art community, but I also teach anatomy, and I always tell my students they have to draw everything because that's the best way to learn it.
And then the reason why I chose this internship is because working with the Urbana Arts and Culture program is giving me the ability to engage with the community and be creative with the marketing of the Great Outdoors event. And I enjoyed being hands-on with teaching and curating some artwork, and I hope to learn more valuable skills from this.
And what drew me to this program, I really wanted to become more familiar with what art initiatives are being put on through the community. I'm not from here, so I definitely wanted to tap into that. And I also got to have a little bit of experience with marketing as well as working on a team.
And then some noteworthy activities we were able to do over the course of the semester was being able to market and contribute to various events such as the Great Outdoors, the Young Artist Studio, and among others. We found all of these events to be super interactive, but at this time, we will just highlight some of our favorites.
Yeah, so our main focus was the Great Outdoors. Not totally familiar if everyone is completely on board with this, knows all about this, but just in brief, this is the little blurb. It's the collaboration between 40 North, Spurlock, Urbana Arts and Culture, Champaign Park District, and Urbana Park District. There are 10 selected artists to work in collaboration, as well as aspect on the outdoor community gallery. So we were inviting community members to engage with this, to be creative by transforming their windows, balconies, porches, yards, etc., using the hashtag #CUOutdoors. So part of our project was contacting community members. Part of it was engaging with this hashtag and trying to encourage it. And these are just the designated locations for those 10 artists, the professional collaborations, and their locations.
And then for me, I was able to do a lesson plan for the virtual Young Artist Studio. This will be taking place in the spring semester in February 2021, which is the same timeline for the Chinese Lunar New Year. Here, pretty much I wanted to collaborate and allow the community to learn about the Lunar New Year, but also create beautifully decorated Chinese paper fans that students are allowed to take home, and then also they will learn a traditional fan dance at the end. I just really wanted them to be able to enjoy different holidays that other cultures celebrate.
During this time, I also got to work a little bit with the MailChimp client to design a newsletter advertising the upcoming deadlines for the Urbana Art Grants. I hope to continue this in the spring working with Rachel. We're still brainstorming a lot of ideas, but definitely either something with program evaluation or getting really into this STEM to STEAM initiative.
And then a little bit of a takeaway is that this internship was a great experience for me to build upon my communication and marketing skills, and interning with the Urbana Arts and Culture program allowed me to create things like the advertising emails and lesson plans that the community will be able to utilize. And it was really rewarding to see all these multiple projects and be able to see it through the end.
Yeah, and this was really exciting for me to see how the city of Urbana is engaging with community artists. It was a great opportunity for me to learn some marketing skills and advertising the Great Outdoors program. And Rachel has been a great mentor in helping me sort of narrow down what it is I'm looking for in internship experience and guiding me towards some goals, some ideas we might have for the spring.
So we would like to thank you, the City of Urbana Arts and Culture Commission, for welcoming us today, and special thanks to our supervisor, Rachel, who has been a great mentor for us and provided a great service learning experience. Thank you, guys. Any questions?
Commissioners, are there any questions for Hannah or Natalie?
Natalie, what I do.
Mhm. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, you were unmuted before. You muted yourself now. Barbara,
Sorry.
you're muted.
Oh, all right.
There you go.
You both are so busy. What are you going to do with your spare time?
Do more internships or do a lot of artwork on the side. I do like family portraits and wedding photography. So
Super.
I just got into digital arts. I have a new drawing tablet, so learning a little bit of
Look
scientific
out.
illustration.
Yeah, look out. She's on a roll. Great.
Casey's excited about that.
I am very excited about that.
I don't know how much you all are acquainted, but Stacy Robinson is within the Department of, well, within the College of Fine and Applied Arts as the graphic design professor. So you should become familiar if you're not already, and does fabulous work of his own. So check out his work as well.
We will-
Yeah, Stacy, did you want to say something?
No, I was looking for the chat and I was like, oh, there's not a chat feature here. I was like, okay. But make sure I get your info through Rachel, I guess, maybe. Yeah. We'll trade info and stay in touch and all of that. Yeah, you, Hannah and Natalie, both of you. Yeah, awesome.
Excellent. And my hope is that Hannah and Natalie will continue to the spring. It's looking very likely that both are interested in pursuing that. And as is in my staff report, we will also be gaining a couple of other interns in the spring. I told Hannah and Natalie that usually I present a certificate of internship completion and we do a little bit more pomp and circumstance, but since they're continuing on, we'll hold off on that till at least maybe the end of next semester. But I wanted you all to get a chance of what they've been, a chance to see what they've been working on, because they've been doing quite a lot. So thank you to both of you for all of your work with the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go ahead then with the first grant presentation. That'll be Rob Crum of CU Folk and Roots for the 2020 Urbana Arts Grant.
Okay, everybody, can you hear me?
Hi.
All right, so
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that Kelly would give me her 5 minutes as well. All right, I'll just start with that. So
We factored them in there to our 5-minute requirement.
Yeah.
I'm saying their absence we factored in, so you should definitely try to stick to 5 minutes if you can. Do your best.
yeah, well, we'll see. Okay. So can you all see that?
Yeah.
All right. So this is our report for the 2020 festival, and I talked with you. And I should mention, Cody Jensen is here with me from the festival, and so we all Zoomed with you recently about the 2021 proposal. So as I mentioned that time, we're a little out of order, but this is the 2020 wrap-up report. So I have a bunch of slides. I'm not going to linger on all of them, but you'll have the slide presentation if you need to refer back to that. So we did have the 12th annual festival in October. 2 days. It was a virtual festival. Everything was streamed online, and it was 30 events, and it was live and pre-recorded performances and other material. Jake Metz and the production team directed all the content from the Rose Bowl, and that was great. The Rose Bowl is really set up to do this. They responded very quickly to the COVID realities by setting themselves up with what's called Rose Bowl TV. So, and we also had, I just want to mention, we did have festival contributions this year from some of our partners. I'd say not every one that we usually work with, but we did have contributions from the Robert Brown Center for World Music, that's Jason Finkelman, Community Center for the Arts, the Iron Post, Rose Bowl, and Urbana Free Library. So, so a little about going into the festival. So, you know, up to about mid-year, we were planning a festival as usual with, you know, crowds maybe on a reduced numbers, but as the COVID cases spiked and we all kind of took stock of what was going on, we really made the decision in June to present the virtual festival. So we carved the festival down to 2 days. We usually do 3 days, and we also reduced the scope from about 60 or 70 events to 30. And like I said, that was produced at the Rose Bowl by Jake and Company, and we streamed that out on multiple platforms, various Facebook and Twitter and YouTube feeds. And just a reminder, the Public Arts Program did support the festival with a Tier 3 grant, so we appreciate that. So more about the festival, we had, as we usually do, we had a mix of local, regional, and national artists, and many of these performers had been a part of the festival before, including Dom Flemons and Hot Club of Cowtown, Lily Lewis and Kashona Armstrong. They've been here in recent years, as has Nikki D and the Browns, who we love Nikki D. And then a lot of local bands. We had 23 performances of straight up music, and then 7 other presentations, including we did an interview with Candy Foster, which I mentioned the last time we had a Zoom. You know, I really respect Candy and for his contributions to the music scene here in Champaign-Urbana. And I really think anytime we have a festival, we're going to include Candy as long as we can. He just has such great insight and history, and you know, he's still making it happen. So we also had presentations about what's called the Black Banjo Reclamation Project, which is a pretty interesting project. And we also had a roundtable discussion featuring some of the Black musicians in the Champaign-Urbana area, just pretty much talking about their experiences working, you know, in the area. So in all, we had 12 hours of content that we provided for free. There was no charge at all, no registration. We did accept donations through the festival, and all the content remains online. It's available at three different videos on the Folk and Roots website. So if you haven't watched it yet, you still have a chance. It'll be up for a while. There's a schedule. I don't want to go through this in detail, but you can just look through there and see. Most of the things were performances. Like I said, anything that that was not has little note. There were some talks and presentations. As I said, the interview with Candy, our roundtable discussion, and just to show, we had basically 3 separate broadcast blocks of about 4 hours each. That's how it worked out. Friday night we started at 6, and then two blocks of programming on Saturday. So I'll just fly through these next few slides just to give you a sense of what happened. So we started with Friday night. We started with Jordan Kay, who's been a part of the festival for many years, and that performance was pre-recorded at the Rose Bowl. That's Hannah Mayrie from the Black Banjo Reclamation Project. She gave a pretty interesting talk. So Long June, it's a local band, and then I mentioned Dom Flemons before. And Dom first really came to people's attention as part of this band, the Carolina Chocolate Drops, which is a black string band. Really gained a lot of notoriety, kind of reviving black string band traditions, but Dom has been out on his own now, and he's got quite a local following. So plugging Dom into the festival this year was terrific. he did his sets in his backyard, so it's pretty down home. All right, then moving on to Saturday, we usually do kids programming on Saturday. I'd say performances for kids of all ages. So there's 3 of our performers at the top: Little Miss Ann from Chicago, Deep Fried Pickle Project from Southwest Michigan, and Duke Claw and Bones Jugs together at the Rose Bowl. Then we did have the roundtable discussion, as I mentioned, and the candy interview. So there's just a few more performances for Friday night. And, you know, some of these were basically photographs of the various display screens. So that's kind of how it happened. But again, good variety of stuff. So our big thanks to Jake Metz and the Rose Bowl crew. They really made the festival happen. The success of the festival was, you know, on their efforts. So we did have, like I said, contributions from our festival partners. And so there's my one lesson learned. If you're going to stream a festival, you need to start with about 10,000 feet of cables of various sorts. Lay them all around the floor at the Rose Bowl and then hook them up and magic will happen. So about the festival, this is the viewer stats. And this is not as easy as counting people in seats, which is hard enough. I'll just go through this. Friday, we had an average number of viewers at 146 and a maximum number of viewers at 218. And then Saturday during the day, those numbers were down, but still respectable numbers. And then Saturday evening, an average number of viewers at 119 and a maximum of 178. So I would say these are the streams that we could count easily. We did have a stream going out on the backlandradio.com Facebook page. We don't have the numbers for that. The number of views looks impressive, but I'm very hesitant to like translate these number of views and the number of people. We did not have 10,682 people watching on Friday night, as the number of views indicates. So Facebook categorizes a view as someone watching at least 3 seconds. Now, this is in the internet reality of short attention spans. So that could be one person tuning into the festival maybe 30 times. Who knows? That would count as 90 of those views. So YouTube counts their views as 30 seconds. So that's the views is really, I don't know what to say. They're impressive, but I really have a hard time wrestling with them. So all the content remains online, as I said before, and that is very easy to count because YouTube includes a counter on there. So there's the viewing totals for the 3 segments. Friday night, 767. That's some of the viewers during the festival, but a lot of the viewers after the festival. So 767 is more than we could fit in any one venue at the festival, so that's good. And then the numbers for Saturday day and Saturday evening are down from there. So there's a little festival summary. Project outcome number 1 is we did it. It was interesting to say the least. We plowed a lot of unfamiliar territory. It came with a lot of lessons that we took note of and learned. The project outcome number 2, I would say, is streaming is here to stay. For 2021, for this next year, we're definitely going to stream part of the festival. Now, what that's going to be, we don't know, but we will definitely include a streaming part because it really helped us reach a new audience. Outcome number 3 is people liked it. We reached a new audience, as I said. We received a lot of supportive comments from viewers. So there's a couple comments down there. These are things that people sent to me in email. Someone, a local resident, said the Folk and Roots Festival was heartwarming. Thanks for presenting a festival during these very trying times. And another one said the festival schedule was incredible. Thanks for the music and thoughtful presentations. And, you know, I think through it all, people and businesses and organizations continue to support the festival, which is really, you know, very, very nice. So the Arts and Culture Program is a network, part of the network of our supporters. And there are many others, businesses, local organizations. And I would note that we had donations this year from 140 individuals. And that number actually, I think, is more. We've gotten some more donations tallied in recent days, but so we usually get support from about 90 to 100 individuals. So it's great to see that even the virtual festival continue to we continue to pick up some supporters, which is really great. So anyway, so that's it. On behalf of the entire festival team, I thank you. We thank you. There are some of the people who worked as MCs and kind of behind the scenes during the festival. That's Matt Winters and Hillary and Cody, and then Emily and Kathy, kind of going from left up to the right. So anyway, that's it. If you have any questions, we can take some questions. As I said, Cody's on the call with us. So
any questions for Rob or Cody, folks?
Let's see.
Pat, you're muted.
I was just saying, just a great job as usual, Rob, and I'm glad to hear that you're going to be doing streaming next time also, so that'll be good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Rob and Cody. Thank you for your presentation, and thank you for a wonderful festival.
Thanks
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you, Rachel.
Okay, our next grant presentation is going to be from Nikki Holtzman of Read Across America.
I'm going to share my screen really quick. Awesome. Okay, sweet. So yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to be presenting about the Read Across America Community Celebration of 2020. We were so thrilled to be able to get this in before COVID hit. I feel definitely very lucky that we were able to have this event. It happened on February 29th. And it was from 10 to 1 p.m. and we estimated we had about 800 kids. So we were super excited to have so many folks joining us this year. And it was our 20th anniversary. So it was kind of a really special moment. I think for everybody on the committee, we had a couple of people who have been on the committee since the very first year. So it was kind of a really cool moment for everybody, I think. So I kind of wanted to start out and just talk about the event in general. So it's a community-wide celebration. It's totally free to all the kids who come, anybody who comes, and we really focus on promoting reading and literacy. And so I put this photo up here because I was super excited that this woman was able to come and join us. Her name is Janice Harrington. She's a local author and she just had this brand new book. And so she was able to share a little bit from the book and then kind of talk about her journey as an author too at the beginning to kick off the event. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about what was featured at the event. So what we had at Read Across America, we had professional storytellers and celebrities. We had celebrity greeters, so that was really fun. We got to talk to and work with a lot of just local people that kids really know. So one of the coolest things, I thought, like the principals came, we had librarians come, other people in the community who just like know a bunch of kids. So that was really neat. We had storytelling by Rotary volunteers. So the Rotary clubs support us through donations, but they also bring their volunteers in to read. So that was a really cool thing. We had a parent and toddler area. I think I have a picture a little bit later, but it was sponsored this year by Little Hearts and Little Hands. And they brought in this like big, like jump with ball, like a big ball pit. It was really cute. So there was a special place for toddlers and little kids to go to. We had about 45 community partners. So we worked with so many different organizations. And this is one of the coolest things I think for me is that I get to talk to and, you know, make connections with all those people through the park district. So I think that's wonderful. And we also had free books in a bag for the first 1,000 kids. So we think we only had about 800 kids. So every kid that came got a free book in a free bag. And then we also had stories read in several different languages, which is really cool. And I'll show you the schedule of that here in a minute. Okay, so this is a picture of our book table. We have librarians from Champaign and Urbana libraries that help the kids hand select books that are best for their age level and their interest. And so the kids will get a sticker card when they walk in. They have to do a certain number of activities and then they redeem that sticker card for a book, and it was really neat because there were 3 different kids at King Elementary who designed the art for the sticker card and then also the bag. So we kind of get to have that little element in there as well. So here's a list of our community partners. Like I said, it's really wonderful to be able to partner with so many different folks to make this happen. And I think it's the thing that I really love about this event is that these grown-ups get to get face-to-face interaction with all these different places and get a bunch of really valuable resources for them as well. So here, I just wanted to highlight a couple of the people that came. So I thought these were really important. The YWCA was there, and they were educating people about filling out the census. So I thought that was really incredible. And the Lions Club, they were also there, and they did free vision screenings. I thought that was kind of a really neat aspect. The Junior Women's Club was there. They dressed up in some cool outfits, and they had really neat activities to do with the kids. The University Primary School, and then the top right photo is the Little Hearts and Little Hands. They brought their whole crew in and kind of set up and did the toddler area like I mentioned before. And so these are our Rotary partners. They, like I said, help us out monetarily, but also with bringing in volunteers. And then these are our professional storytellers. We were super excited. So a few of them were new this year, and we were really jazzed about that. But Dawn Blackman, I think, has done, she's only missed 1 year in the 20 years that Read Across America's happened. I'm sure you all know her. She's an incredible woman, but we were really excited that she was able to join us. And Ginger Lozar has been with us for a couple years, but the rest of the 3, so Clothespin Puppets, Champaign-Urbana Symphony Guild, and Annie Shimojima were all new this year. So we were excited to kind of get some new folks into our event. And I think I've got a couple of pictures for you here, just of the main stage. And then I'll move on. This is our list for the world language readers, and so we have 30-minute time slots the whole event for Spanish. So we had different people coming in every 30 minutes reading books in Spanish, and then folks reading books in Mandarin and French the rest of the time. They went back and forth between those 2. So I think that's a really cool thing where we can connect with other folks who don't necessarily speak English. And so like I mentioned before, this is our 20th anniversary. So the 2 women who have been doing this event for 20 years, they made this incredible memory wall. And we also worked with Picara, and they donated about 500 cookies. And so we were able to give out cookies to everybody who came to the event. We still had a couple left over. I can't believe we had the cookies left over. So that was a really cool thing. It was kind of like a birthday present or kind of a celebration for us. And then, so yeah, I forgot to put this in here. So they also made this really incredible bag wall. And so it had bags from each of our 20 events, which I thought was like a really cool moment to check that out. I've only been working with this event for 3 years. So I thought it was really cool to kind of check all that out. So here's a couple examples of activities that they had, the community partners had. And then this is actually Annie Shimojima's booth, and she had one of the Lincoln's Challenge cadets joining her and reading her one of her books. So I thought that was a kind of a cool moment to share there. And so here's a picture of the Lincoln's Challenge cadets. So one really cool thing, we get to partner with them for this event. So they send a group of volunteers the night before. They help us set up all the tables, all the chairs, do everything. And then the next day they send another group of kids, and they come and actually read and pass out stickers, and they just have the best day. It's a really cool time. And here's just another photo of the audience in the main stage. I think it's so cool when it kind of pauses for a moment in time when all these people just sit and watch at the main stage. And I think it's a really incredible thing. So I think that's it. That's all I have. Thank you so much for your generous support for this event. It's really a cool thing that we get to provide for the community. And like I said, I feel super lucky that we were able to have this before COVID happened, and we're really brainstorming, working on ways to make this still a safe type thing for kids next February. So I think that's all I've got. I'll stop sharing my screen, and if anybody has any questions.
Questions for Nikki? I have personally a quick comment. First of all, just congratulations on another wonderful year. And I know as you're probably considering applying for arts grants this next year, I am, in my staff report, it does detail our next upcoming drop-in grant hours at the tail end of this week, and we do still have slots available. So that goes for anyone on this call. If you're considering applying for an arts grant, please consider those drop-in hours as places to brainstorm or get feedback on your proposal. I was really heartened to see Janice Harrington. I'm a personal fan of hers. Yes. Don Blackman's giving our next Young Artist Studio workshop on storytelling just next Sunday.
He's so cool.
You know, we're so delighted to have all these wonderful local people, you know, being highlighted through events like Read Across America. And I will put a pin in it for you to think about potentially when you're writing your next arts grant. Think about how we also have our poet laureate now and our new to be youth poet laureate, because I think those could be two people who could maybe be involved the day of, either sharing poetry or something as part of the event. And I'd love to see that happen.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I totally will. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki, for your presentation.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, next on our agenda is the Imagine Urbana Comprehensive Plan. I think we have Andrea Rudy and Lily Wilcock to talk to us.
Great. Well, thank you for this opportunity. I'm Andrea Rudy, and I'm the Senior Advisor for Integrated Strategy Development. And I have a colleague with me who is Lily Wilcock, who's a planner with the city. And I'm trying to share my screen here, and then we'll do a quick run through. I'm really delighted to be part of your great agenda today. And let's see here. Not doing it.
It looks like it's showing.
You do have it? Good, because I can't see
absolutely.
It. All right.
Oh, no.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think you just need to
so
scroll
Lily
up
and I have been
for them to
charged
see
with
your
updating the city's comprehensive plan. And we'd like to go through some quick slides with you, but our real motivation today to talk with you is we would love to be part of the events that your group may host, your members may host, and to be able to share with the community and the constituents about getting feedback for our comprehensive plan. So we're going to quickly run through some slides to allow time for any questions that you might have. And again, being cognizant of your agenda this evening, we'll make it as quick as possible. But first of all, I think most of you are probably familiar with the comprehensive plan. You've probably been involved in an organization where you've done a plan. In the case of the city, it really does lay out what our policies are going to be going forward in all areas, such as arts and culture, which we're here tonight to talk about, transportation, land use, some of those traditional things that you'd see in a city's comprehensive plan. But our plan, we're really trying to make it broader. So it's not focused on just those traditional items. And so that's why we have arts and culture up here front and center. But the main unique part about our comprehensive plan is that we're trying to reach out to all populations within the city so that they have a voice in the comprehensive plan. And so we're really relying on people like you. You'll see in a slide later some of the groups we've identified to make sure that we're outreaching to not only individuals, but groups that can help us reach other individuals and as part of our plan process. So we've come up with a brand, which Rachel was a part of a small group that we put together that not only selected the graphic designer who is local, she's from Urbana and she works at the U of I. And so we picked the designer, and then the same group picked the graphics that were going to represent our plan. So the Imagine Urbana theme came to the forefront. Great graphics, great colors. We really think it's inviting and hopefully stimulates thought about what Urbana should be like in the next 20 years. So we've done some background. Lily and I have been busy since about July on this project, doing some of the background work on it. Everything from, like we talked about, the graphic design. Lily is up to her eyeballs in the website right now. We're getting the website up and we hope to launch that in mid-January. We're looking at different survey tools that we can use. So the pandemic has provided us some opportunities in that now I think people are more receptive to other non-traditional forms of engagement. So we think that's really going to help us. And so Lily's been doing a lot of researching on texting tools that we might be able to use. So not everybody has a computer and can go to a website, but maybe they could text via a phone. It doesn't have to be a smartphone. We'll also rely on some of the traditional aspects too in doing surveys. You know, some will be paper surveys. We may go door to door and pass out surveys, you know, when comfortable. So we're trying to find ways that we can engage everyone in our community so that they can have a voice. So we'll get to the stakeholders in a little bit. That's something that we could really use some help on. So this is a list of groups that we put together. It's not a comprehensive list. It's still growing. But as you can see, everything from, you know, the seniors population to youth. We want teens involved. We want our future residents of Urbana. We want them involved in this process. Different community organizations, social media outlets will be involved in this process, neighborhood groups, you name it. We want to be able to have a comprehensive list, so we look for ideas from this group as well. The website, as I mentioned, we're using several different concepts on this website. One is an idea wall, where people can just post an idea in whatever category that might be. The idea behind this is that once people start giving their input, we're going to have themes that will develop. People they'll have a theme that maybe is on arts and culture, you know, the things that they'd like to see. Another bucket might be more traditional in city infrastructure, etc. So this idea wall will start to form those little buckets of ideas that we'll want to start developing focus groups around, etc. We'll have traditional surveys. We'll have quick polls that they can take to get instantaneous feedback. One of the neat features is a map, and Lily's been working long and hard on this map feature so that you can actually pin a location in Urbana. And we're not talking about infrastructure here. We're talking about places of interest, and they can put a pin and maybe a picture. So when we talk about the Folk and Roots Festival, somebody may post a pin and say, hey, this is where the Folks and Roots Festival was. I love that, and give us some feedback on that. And they're able to upload pictures. We're also going to have some informative videos. One of the first series that we're actually in the process of finalizing is on the different governing bodies that impact the residents of Urbana. And so we've taken the leaders of each of these governing bodies. Jason at Urbana Public Television has filmed them, and we're doing these little vignettes on what their organization does and what it means to the residents and businesses of Urbana. So that's another thing. And then it'll be an opportunity for everybody to register, to get involved in whatever way they want to, whether it's just receiving information and updates, or if they really do want to get involved in focus groups in areas of interest. So the website will be very interactive. Our timeline, we're looking at this first 6 months to really be the hard push on our community engagement portion, where we'll be hosting webinars, doing surveys, reaching out to community partners such as yourselves in this group to see how we can reach your constituents. We want to reach your market. We want the feedback from your groups. And then later in the year, we'll start seeing these themes develop, and then go into the next level of community engagement will really be focus groups in these specific areas of interest for the different themes that we'll develop. We'll then be making a preliminary reports to the Plan Commission, the City Council, to again get their feedback before we then move to the next phase. So this process is going to take a couple of years, but it really will be a vision for what Urbana is going to look like in the next 20 years and what people want to see happen. And we're just totally excited to be part of this process and would love your input and any feedback that you can. And like I said, especially partnering with any events that you might have coming up so that we could reach your constituents. So if you've got any questions for Lily and I, we'd be happy to answer those. Lily is definitely in the weeds on some of the technical aspects. So if you have questions on that, she'd be glad to field those questions.
Well, thank you, Andrea and Lily. Lily, did you want to say anything extra? You're just unmuted right now, so I wanted to ask.
Well, Andrea, you covered this really perfectly. And just to, this is a big, huge city plan. I just want to emphasize this, that as this leads the city's really goals and policies, regulations, and development for the next 20 years, that also really means that this is their best opportunity for a deep listening to what the community wants to move in the next 20 years. So that's a really crucial part of this. We're talking about all this community engagement. We're talking about all these things. We're talking about people, stakeholders, and community groups. We're talking about how we can partner with those agencies to really listen better, and then just your usual government kind of interactions, which, as you can probably imagine, could use a lot of room for improvement pre-COVID-19, and now it's a whole new world. So we're really interested in your thoughts and your questions, and we're also really interested in partnerships with organizations. We really think that just having the city come to us, people coming to another Zoom meeting, with your already busy schedule is very difficult, but I think there's a lot of value added with cross promotion and co-partnering. So that's just want to re-emphasize a couple things.
Definitely. For the benefit of our commissioners, I'll just say really briefly, because I know we can't get into a discussion on this today, but first, I was able to meet with Andrea and Lily. We've already talked a little bit about some potential events or areas that already exist within our program that might be places where we could incorporate some sort of visioning element or invite some visioning through the program, and really at different levels, and also the possibility of hosting some specific listening sessions for arts and culture visioning for the next 20 years, so more long-range arts and culture visioning with the community. Certainly something that I think we have the capacity to do, and quite easily. So that's something I'm excited about. I've also extended to Lily and Andrea the possibility of coming back to a future meeting. So it might be that they come and do some sort of visioning specifically with our Arts Commission. So we'll talk more about that into the future. But if you commissioners have any ideas of other ways that you'd like to see us contribute to this long-range visioning for our city, do reach out to Lily and Andrea at the emails they gave. You can also send it to me and I'll forward that on. And I just want to thank the two of you for coming by our meeting today and sharing a bit about it, because they heard only a bit about it last meeting. And I think it's wonderful to get a more in-depth understanding of what the comprehensive planning process looks like.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Frank,
thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I do have a quick
Okay, Rachel. Oh, I'm sorry.
Stacy, did you have a quick question?
Yes.
Frank.
I was wondering.
You're both in the same spot on my screen.
Oh, okay. Given the real ambitious goals that you have, how do you know that you're achieving them? What are the metrics that indicate you're actually getting to those target audiences and getting valid, important, significant information that will move?
And I'm just going to make a suggestion for the sake of time, because we have only 7 minutes before we have to end our meeting. Let's put that, I've noted that question. Let's put it in an email. So I'll send it to you, Lily and Andrea, and then we'll follow up on it at our next meeting. Is that okay, Frank?
That's fine.
Okay, wonderful. And the same goes for anyone else. If you have other additional questions, I think we can continue the conversation, especially if we are able to have you both back at a future meeting, which would be lovely.
That would be fantastic. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I'm sorry for the time constraints today.
No problem. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Rachel, do you want to go ahead and say just a little bit about Tier 3?
Yes, I'm going to plow right ahead. So, and just to do a quick check with Jason, because I do know the 5:30 meeting was in question. There is a 5:30 meeting, correct?
There is a 5:30 meeting, and I believe people are already arriving in the council chambers.
Okay, excellent. So this is what I can do today. I don't think we'll be able to vote or have quite a discussion on this today, but what I can do is I can present it. It is available then in your, so what you have uploaded now on the web page for our meeting today is this memo, which I'll go over in brief before we end our meeting tonight. The memo does include a recommendation, and then we can take a vote in January unless you feel like you can take a quick vote in a minute's time, but it might require some more discussion. So here's the recommendation of Tier 3 arts grants. The Arts Commission's program offers artists and artistic groups funding towards creative projects within the city of Urbana. This 2021 cycle, up to $90,000 is available in total for the grant program this year. Our Tier 3 grant category supports special events and festivals offering between $500 and $10,000 in financial support. The Commission received 2 applications this cycle. And just note, there is a correction there. We had originally thought we were receiving 4, but we received 2 this cycle and received corresponding presentations from each, which you heard at last meeting. I'm going to present the recommendation, but just to go over your options in a vote, you can vote to approve the recommendation as written. You can vote to approve the recommendation with some revisions, or you can deny the recommendation. You may vote as a whole or on each grant recommendation one by one. So you can also break up the recommendation, but I put them together for you. So staff recommends that the Commission approve the recommendation of the Tier 3 Urbana Arts Grants as presented. So the first is that in 2021 Champaign-Urbana Folk and Roots Festival presented by Champaign-Urbana Folk and Roots and at a funding recommendation of $10,000 representing fully funding. 2021 Pygmalion presented by Fine Bersoni Inc., a recommendation of $10,000 being fully funded. I included an exhibits, and this is put together by our Urbana Arts and Culture staff. So the summarized comments from your scoring forms, and they are here for both Folk and Roots and Pygmalion. I hope you're able to see them and pull up this memo. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go over them in depth, but I want to say a couple of things. So these were recommendations that were pulled directly from, so comments and feedback directly from our scoring sheets from commissioners. I also do want to say, since we do have some people on the call who also applied, that both Folk and Roots and Pygmalion staff understand there is also feedback that the staff can provide. We do a close reading. We can gather and read between the lines from everyone's feedback, and we also have general recommendations that we give out throughout the year. So I do encourage you to get in touch to attend grant program offerings such as our grant workshops and everything to really get a feel and get some feedback on your proposal in advance of submission. So with that in mind, I want to ask if there is any conversation on the recommendation or any move to vote.
Folks are comfortable, I would move to approve the recommendation.
Do we have enough commissioners?
You do.
Is everyone comfortable with doing that now?
I'm comfortable with it. Do we need
Would you like to second that, Frank?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
I don't see any need to amend the amounts. I think, given that they are two groups that have worked for years, have been very successful, and I was truly amazed at the way they were able to adjust, how they were able to turn, and the degree of resilience and the creativity that they demonstrated. I think we should support that. And they're very much Urbana people, and I think they should be given that type of affirmation.
Okay, are we ready to vote then? Anyone else? Okay, we would need to do this as a roll call vote.
Correct.
Okay, so we are voting then to approve your recommendation for the Tier 3 grants.
Okay. Ms. Salmon? Did we have a second? Sorry.
Yeah, it was Frank.
Okay. Aye.
Okay. Ms. Bex? Are you there, Ms. Bex?
Yes, I am.
Did you want to recuse yourself from this vote?
I did, yes.
You can abstain.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Ms. Headland?
Barbara, you're muted.
I hit it once. Aye.
Okay. Mr. Miller,
Aye.
Mr. Modica,
Aye.
Ms. Orcherton,
Aye.
Mr. Pania,
Aye.
Ms. Williams,
I'm going to abstain as well.
and Mr. Robinson.
Aye.
Okay. And I do believe even with the 2 abstain, the ayes have it.
All right, it is then passed.
Okay, I just want to reiterate before we move on, there is wonderful feedback that was given by those who submitted. The funding recommendation came by way of tallying and quantifying everyone's recommendations, which by and large were fully funding both groups. There was one person who abstained from voting on one, and the whole process was adjusted accordingly. So please reach out if you were, well, first of all, congratulations on the funding, and reach out to gather that feedback and make sure that you take a look at the thoughtful comments that were put together from our commissioners this year.
Okay, with that, I think all agenda items are complete, so we can adjourn.
Thank you.